Welcome to the blackawakening.com. I'm your host, spiritual practitioner 322 Peppy Black Saint. Today we're going to discuss the atrocities that's happening to Indigenous Black people in Mississippi. Now, what exactly is happening to our people in Mississippi? Let's examine this.
This was not a natural killing. This was not a natural death. This represents a young man who was killed. His head was severed from his body. His vertebrae, his spinal cord, was in another spot they discovered away from his severed head. They have recently found remains that they believe are also Rashim Carter at another part of where he went missing. And what that tells us is that this was a nefarious act. This was an evil act. Somebody murdered Rashim Carter. And we cannot let them get away with this. And so today, we're calling for the Department of Justice to open an investigation as to what happened to Rashim Carter. Somebody seen what happened to Rashim. And it doesn't make any sense at all, because the text message that his mother got before he went missing is a part of the clue to solving this murder. And it has to be investigated. Do you want to read it, Tiffany?
I'll read it.
You don't have to say the name. But.
Okay.
And what date did this come?
This was on October the 1st. My son texted me. This was after him and I had gotten off the phone. He said, "Me and the owner of this company not seeing eye to eye, Mama." His name, which I can't say at this time, but if anything happened to me, he's responsible for it. I'm too smart, Mama. He got these guys wanting to kill me. And that's what he sent to me.
And then he went missing. And then his remains were found with his head dismembered from his body, his spinal cord separated from his head, and his other body parts are still missing. Tiffany deserves answers. This community deserves answers. Justice for Rashim Carter. Justice for Rashim Carter. Justice for Rashim Carter. Justice for Rashim Carter.
Here we are, 2023, some 70 years after the 50s. We thought we had advanced here in Mississippi. I've been a Mississippian for all 46 years of my life, and I've never heard of a crime this horrific in my life. I was not living during the time of Emmett Till. I heard about that and read about it in the history books, but I thought we had progressed in Mississippi. But we are living in the Jim Crow era 2.0, and there seems to be a surge of white supremacy. There's no reason that Rashim Carter should have been killed. He was dutifully and gainfully employed, just trying to make a living for his young child, and ends up dead, chased by what we believe to be white supremacists, a lynch mob. And so we're going to stand with Attorney Crump and stand with his family to fight for justice. We need the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice and the highest levels of government to come to our defense in Mississippi.
Amen.
Because as wise the Carters today, it could be my family tomorrow. It could be any black American in Mississippi. It could be any of us. There is a new surge of white supremacy, and none of us should feel safe until all of us feel safe. And so we will fight for justice until the end.
For Dexter Wade.
This morning, the family of Dexter Wade is demanding answers. The 37-year-old was allegedly hit and killed by a Jackson, Mississippi police patrol car back in March and was buried without his family being notified. Only this pole and the number 672 mark his grave.
He was my only son, and I would have never thought this had happened to him.
Wade's mother says she reported him missing on March 14th, but she says it wasn't until 5 months later that she was told he was hit and killed by an off-duty officer as he was walking across a highway.
They could have came in, knocked on the door.
Family attorney Ben Crump says the coroner's office identified Wade using fingerprints and alerted Jackson police 4 days after Wade's death. The coroner also found Wade's name on a pill bottle in his pocket, but the mayor says when police contacted the medical provider, they were given a contact number that was not accurate. But Crump says the coroner contacted Jackson police 7 times between March and June to inquire if Wade's family had been notified that he was in the morgue. The family now speculating whether a previous case involving Wade's uncle played a role in how police handled Wade's death. Wade's uncle was killed in 2019 after prosecutors say he was assaulted and body slammed by Jackson police officers. One officer was convicted in that case.
What other reason would you think that we go through 6 months and they don't tell me who my son is? Is it hard?
Jackson police denied our request for comment. The local district attorney is investigating the delay in Wade's family being notified about his death. Wade's family wants his body exhumed for an independent autopsy and to give him a proper burial.